What's going on, y'all? We're back, and admittedly, I did sleep on the fact that yesterday was the start of free agency, and of course, moves have definitely been made, and that carried over into the second day of free agency, as we're about to talk about here. Also, admittedly, I did have another variation of this uploaded earlier, and realized there were some things that were very, very incorrect about it, so that's why we're here running it back real quick. So if you're seeing this re-uploaded again, yeah, that's basically what this is. But nonetheless, this is A&J. Of course, we're here with the best of sports and pro wrestling, the best of pro wrestling and sports. Either way you slice it up, you want to be right here for the best of both worlds. And of course, with that in mind, if you're enjoying the content that we're bringing to you on a regular basis, definitely hit that like, share, subscribe down below. And when you hit the subscribe button, don't forget about that notification bell so that you know when some new vids are going to be coming through, and don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. We can keep the conversation going beyond the vid that way. With that in mind, let's definitely get into a conversation which a lot of interesting stuff that's happened out here in Denver, to say the very least. One, Michael Porter Jr. has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets for Cam Johnson, and of course, first round pick, I believe it's 2032, if I recall correctly. I mean, we'll see what that winds up looking like at that point. But either way, it's pretty much a very one for one swap as you can get in the NBA here. Pretty much the same player, almost the same build. And for me, if anything, Porter Jr. is, of course, clearly the better scorer, but Cam Johnson, on the other hand, is probably going to get the nod on the defensive side of things. Either way, I think both teams make out well in the trade. You got Porter Jr., who talks about he doesn't get a lot of shots. I mean, he'll get plenty of them now, and it's going to be interesting to see what that means for the Nets in the long run, especially with all the picks that they actually ended up having in the first round and other moves that they've made. We'll see what winds up happening from that. But in all seriousness, I'm also thinking about, the fact that the Nuggets also actually had a sign-in trade where they sent Dario Saric to the Sacramento Kings. Either way, they traded for Giannis Valanciunas, which he's going to wind up playing more of the DeAndre Jordan role. I don't know that he's necessarily going to be the lob threat that DeAndre Jordan once was and kind of still is, but he'll still come in and actually be productive. But for me, these are a couple of moves that solidify the front court a lot more for the Denver Nuggets. And then, of course, you bring back Bruce Brown from that championship team, who, in all honesty, is going to do an awful lot for you coming off the bench, especially around Jamal Murray, Joker, Christian Brown, and, of course, Aaron Gordon. And of course, you got Cam Johnson at that other forward spot. I feel like the Nuggets are going to be really, really interesting to watch in the next season, along with the Houstons, who just signed a Dorian Finney-Smith, and certainly will add to that swing position that I feel like was needing some help. He definitely adds to that there. I'd be interesting to see what they have around that and Reed Shepard, but that, along with what you got going in OKC, obviously as the champions, San Antonio will be healthy, and of course the Golden State Warriors, among so many other teams. But we're going to move right along to the Eastern Conference. This is actually going to be more focused on the Milwaukee Bucks at this point, but we're going to talk real quick about Miles Turner signing with the Milwaukee Bucks, and the main reason for that we'll get into here in a little bit. But that's because Brook Lopez is now going to actually be playing in a likely backup role to Zubac in Clipperland. I mean, it was it was a thought initially he could be a starting center for the Lakers, but he decided to join Kawhi Leonard, re-sign James Harden, Terrence Mann, amongst others, with the Clippers. I think that's going to be another interesting team to watch in the West. But in terms of what this does for the Bucks here, as you see, it's funny we got the pick of Miles Turner here actually trying to yam one on Giannis, but or maybe he's swinging a hook. I don't know, but Giannis has actually got the outstretched arm, and can only have so much success rate going against that. But at least as of now, he won't be going against that. They'll be teaming up. I think this one's pretty wild only for the fact that during the finals, which, again, he was in the NBA Finals, actually had a huge part in them getting to the finals, and if not for the injury to Tyrese Halliburton in the early part of Game 7, who knows how that outcome winds up, how that what the outcome of that game and series winds up being. You know, I mean, we probably are telling a completely different story, but at the same time, it's just really interesting to see that this is something that we're actually getting here. I don't know. It's like, it's interesting from a basketball standpoint. I'm pretty sure it's something that could work for each aspect of this. But at the same time, I kind of can't help but wonder, what are we doing here, NBA, amongst, and not just the Bucks, but so many other teams. I've mentioned the Bulls before. It's just really, really wild to see right now. But this is where we get into the main topic of the video, because the reason for the Miles Turner signing is the Milwaukee Bucks have waived Damian Lillard, which I kind of understand. Torn Achilles, he's not going to be available, and it is a massive contract, but it's one that you're going to be eating for quite a bit of time. I mean, oh man, just really, really wild to think about, but even more so because of the fact that now Giannis isn't too pleased about it, according to Chris Haynes. Now, the thing about it is that no actual formal trade request was made, at least as of right now. But, I don't know. Kind of hard to imagine that we don't end up seeing one at some point. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I'm just thinking about this here, and I'm looking at what the Bucks were actually able to do here. Of course, in addition to picking up Miles Turner, they got Gary Harris, along with re-signing Jericho Sims. They brought back Bobby Portis Jr., re-signed Taurean Prince, along with Kevin Porter Jr. And, I mean, a lot of those pieces will help make the team more formidable, provided that you still have Giannis in the fold. But, you know, oh, and of course, Vesely Micic, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, was traded to the Bucks for Pat Connaughton on a sign-and trade, and of course we'll be going to the Hornets with two additional second-round picks. But anyway, yeah, this is one of those things to where, again, much like I talked about with the Bulls, it's like, what are we doing here? Especially with Milwaukee. I don't know, I'm just scratching my head on that as you see me scratching my eyebrow. I'm just really intrigued to see how all this winds up working out. Is everything that I just mentioned enough to keep Giannis around? That's tough. That's going to be really, really tough to see. I mean, yeah, the coming days are going to be really, really interesting. I felt like we were going to be talking more about football, but there's just even more basketball stuff going on, and I, again, overlooked that with free agency. That's my fault on that one, but yeah, kind of crazy to think about. Either way, let me know what y'all think down below. Do you think Giannis sticks around? Is he gone? I don't know. Y'all know what it is. Let me know what y'all think down below. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll probably be back with more on that one.